from Louisiana's news channel. This is 9 News This Morning.
You can understand they've been traumatized, and that's our main concern with them at this point, is just making sure that they're taken care of.
Children witness a deadly triple shooting. We are following that breaking news right now. 3 people killed in a shooting on Palmer Lane. This is not far from South Harrells Ferry Road. East Baton Rouge deputies say a suspect is in custody. As we take a live look at the scene, they believe the suspect knew the victims, Graham.
Yeah, and we're talking about 2 kids here, a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old. The shooting happened just before midnight. That is a live look, as Lauren mentioned, now that the sun is coming up. It's still a quieter, but obviously an active crime scene. Lots of questions about this. Our Liz Coe will have a report for us live in just moments.
We want to get you out the door first with your First Alert forecast. Let's check in with Diane Deaton.
Right now, it's pretty quiet for you out the door. No issues, but I bring your attention to our First Alert Futurecast for later this afternoon. Now, again, not terribly widespread in the realm of any shower activity, but you're going to have a few spotty, isolated showers right around 5 o'clock, right around your rush hour home, that in some areas and some spots can get your attention because we could have some locally heavy rainfall in just a few areas. And likewise, across a portion, the northernmost portion of Pike and Walthall counties, you folks are under that low-end risk, a marginal risk for severe weather later on today. Now, this morning, you're looking just fine. No issues, no problems. Johnny's going to have your latest traffic information here in just a moment, along with Live Drive. We'll let you know what's happening. What's happening as far as weather is concerned, a whole lot of nothing. So that's good for your Friday Eve, your Thursday morning. It's warm out there, though, 76 degrees, and this is what we're expecting. Lunchtime temperature already 90, or high yesterday, 94, and we are looking at a few isolated showers. I kind of pinpointed those for you on Futurecast, so be aware on that drive home. A few of you might be in the middle of a little bit of rain, but it shouldn't last long, and it will not be widespread severe, Johnny.
6:02, we've got a serious top story for you, so I'll be quick in traffic. Nothing going on, no wrecks right now. This is I-12 coming in from Denham Springs. Looks good there at Range. I-10 right here through the road work at Highland Road. Not bad this morning. There's our Mississippi River Bridge. Just a little slow traffic right here in the Port Allen area, but all in all, not a bad drive this morning at all. And down in Plaquemine, the Plaquemine Sunshine Ferry boats are both in service. Remember, though, high water restrictions are still in place down there for a while. Buses, trailers, and large trucks are restricted. 6:02, now to that serious story. Here's Graham Olkins.
Yeah, Johnny, we're following that breaking news. 3 people killed overnight in a shooting there. This happened on Palmer Lane off of South Harrells Ferry Road. That is where we find our Liz Coe. She's been out there gathering information for several hours now while most of us have been asleep. Liz, what have you learned this morning?
Yeah, Graham, what's new at this hour is actually the East Baton Rouge Coroner's Office just leaving with both vans in tow. That happening within the last 7 minutes here. But you can see we're actually parked here along South Harrells Ferry Road. The incident happened at a home there behind that line of trees and that crime scene tape on Palmer Lane. You can't see the home there because of those trees, but let me walk you through the timeline that the sheriff's office investigators have pieced together. They say this all happened right before midnight. In fact, a 911 call came into dispatch from a 14-year-old boy who lives in that home where this awful incident happened. He told dispatch that his mother's ex-boyfriend came into their house and started shooting. The teen then took his 12-year-old brother outside, and together they hid behind a shed until deputies could get to them. Now, meanwhile, another set of deputies noticed the suspect leave the scene in his vehicle, and they actually chased him into the Shenandoah subdivision. They eventually got him out, and deputies were able to arrest him there. Meanwhile, deputies got to the scene here on Palmer Lane, finding 3 victims dead inside the home. We're told each one had multiple gunshot wounds. Now, as for the 2 boys right now, the sheriff's office has them safe, and they're trying to get them in the hands of family. Sheriff Gautreaux commending that 14-year-old boy for reacting as quick as he did to keep him and his little brother alive. He says it's a situation that children should never have to experience.
Very, very tragic situation, but it could have been a lot worse. If that young man wouldn't have thought as quick as he did and got his brother out there and hid behind the house, it's very likely that they could have been victims as well.
As for what's next, the East Baton Rouge Coroner's Office, again, they have to work to identify that official cause of death for these 3 victims, the 2 women and 1 man. Now, detectives actually have the suspect in custody at the Violent Crimes Unit. We're told they're going to interview him there to find out exactly why this happened. As of now, no motive for what happened here. And again, the 2 boys are safe, waiting to be connected with family from out of state. As we get new information, we're going to update you right here on 9 News This Morning. For now, reporting live along South Harrells Ferry Road, I'm Liz Coe for WAFB 9 News. Back to you.
Okay, Liz, thank you. Your help is needed to find the person who dumped a body at a park in broad daylight in our city. If you live near Olympia Field in Baton Rouge, check your security cameras. Yesterday, someone dumped a body in that area off of Perkins Road. Baton Rouge police say the driver of that car then drove from Olympia Field and made a left turn down Kenilworth headed toward Highland. We're told the victim is between 18 and 20 years old. Blood was found on the victim's head, but it is unclear exactly how he died. There were plenty of witnesses, and police say that is the key to solving this crime.
But just to say that they dumped the body here in broad daylight at a park where it's close by, they have kids playing and break workers here working. That's pretty bold.
Authorities are asking people in the area to go back and look through their security footage for a dark-colored car driving between 12:30 p.m. and 1 o'clock. Police are also looking to see if the park has surveillance footage. If you have information or video that can help, call the number on your screen. It's Crime Stoppers 344-STOP. Meanwhile, these are the faces of the men charged after a violent shootout that spanned for miles along I-12. The Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office says the group met in a Baton Rouge parking lot Monday for a sale involving drugs and a gaming system. Deputies say one of the suspects got upset because one of the parties involved tried using counterfeit bills in the transaction. After the gunfight, the suspects were eventually arrested. Amazingly, no one was hurt.
Unbelievable video showing a driver jumping out of a car, darting across moving traffic. This was during a police chase. Take a look at your screen. It's going to be at the bottom here. You see a man hop out of the driver's side of the car there before it crashed at the intersection in St. John the Baptist Parish. He then dashed across the street, almost getting hit by passing cars. Moments later, police cruisers showing up here. At the end of all the chaos, that man and another suspect were both arrested.
Change is coming that could impact how you strap your kids in the car. Later today, the state's top safety experts will explain the new changes to the child safety seat law. One of the big things, any child who's younger than 2 years old must be restrained in a rear-facing child safety seat. That new law goes into effect in a little over a month, and if you have a child 13 or under, you need to know about it. If your health has been top of mind, today you can find free testing across Baton Rouge for HIV. It's part of today's National HIV Testing Day. The CDC says our state, and in particular our city, has some of the highest STD rates in the country. There are a lot of places you or someone you know can go to get that test. Just pull out your phone. You can find this story in our 9 News app for those details.
So many of you tell us you're tired of seeing your neighborhoods destroyed by illegal dumping. Now that crime could actually turn from a misdemeanor to a felony, at least in East Baton Rouge Parish. It's one of several changes leaders are considering. Current penalties allow the parish to fine offenders from $1,000 to $5,000. However, it's often difficult for authorities to identify those who are doing the illegal dumping. Camera surveillance is one solution that may come sooner rather than later.
Blight does lead to crime, so it is a crime-related issue, and we feel that it is a decent use of the cameras, some of the cameras that we have, to put them at locations where there's dumping.
BRPD Deputy Chief Johnny Dunham saying Crime Stoppers would need to map out dumping hotspots with the help of the Department of Public Works and council members before installing cameras. If you do have some bulk trash items like sofas and refrigerators, you can take those things over to the Baton Rouge North landfill in Zachary.
The Metro Council is taking your input concerning property value and possibly your health into consideration. During the East Baton Rouge Metro Council meeting last night, members gave you a chance to weigh in on those 5G towers going up around the city parish. There were a lot of concerns about where and when they're going up. In fact, last month, the city stopped AT&T from putting them up over complaints. Council members we talked to say they're reviewing your input to see if there's anything that can be done.
New pictures of what was taken in a burglary at an animal shelter that the owners think is linked to dog fighting. Now, a local doggy daycare is helping out the Point Capee Animal Shelter. Camp Bow Wow is collecting supplies until Sunday. The shelter that was burglarized cares for 89 dogs, and the owners say the thieves wiped them out of necessary medical supplies and food. So from 6 in the morning until 8 at night, Camp Bow Wow will collect things like dog food, allergy medication, and Band-Aids. A chemical company in St. Gabriel says they're spending millions of dollars to expand, meaning a number of new jobs coming along with that. Eastman Chemical Company set to put $70 million into its manufacturing, including a new chemical facility. The site makes compounds derived from ammonia that are used in feed, food, personal care products, and agricultural markets. We'll keep you posted as those jobs become available.
Through skill and innovation, a group of students earns a trip of a lifetime and a chance to change the world. One student from White Castle High and a teacher and student from Plaquemine High School are now the winners of a Dow Chemical project. Their grand prize, a trip to Africa. The project asked kids around the world to show how they could make an innovative impact on their communities. Now the winners will get a chance to expand their worldviews.
We should be going on a safari, which is going to be really neat. I just keep thinking about Lion King and all the animals that I might see.
Those students leave this week on their trip.
Pretty cool. All right, something on my bucket list for sure.
Definitely.
We're following that breaking news, though. Still a live look at that crime scene, active crime scene, the deadly triple shooting overnight in Baton Rouge. We'll have the latest for you.
The stage is set for the second half of the first Democratic debates. The president weighing in on that first half on Twitter. We'll take you to Miami.
And our First Alert live drive out and about this morning. We're on Airline Highway going toward Gonzales right now through Prairieville. Tell you where we're going in just a second.
Not much rain in the forecast today. That's allowed the temperature to go up to the mid-90s like yesterday. More rain over the course of the next few days and a little bit cooler. Well, not much. Pretty typical for South Louisiana for late June and early July. I'll have your forecast.